Hey, Rocky. Go get it. Oh! It's time to start work on the 2006 Wilson trailer. We're going to be taking the wheels off of one of the axles today, and we're going to see what we're left with, see what we need to change on that axle. Today's going to be sort of like an exploratory mission, trying to figure out how different it is from the Freightliner's rear end, which it shouldn't be too terrible. We kind of have the gist of it. As I've said before, this is our first time working with a semi, so this is all new to us. But we did find the owner's manual for this trailer online. Basically, I just typed in 2006 Wilson trailer owner's manual, and it was the first link. So we have that to help us along. What we're going to be doing, otherwise, probably right now I can do, before we jack the rear end up, is I can change the glad hands right here. So let's go ahead and start getting to work. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick thanks to WD-40 Company. They are sponsoring this video. Here are the new glad hands. So the reason there are two different airlines on the trailer is that one is the service and then one is the emergency. So the service airline is what controls your brakes when you push in the brake pedal. Your emergency is your air supply, and it is also your emergency air brakes. Let's say if this hose gets cut off or the supply doesn't really go through this hose anymore, what's going to happen is the knob is going to kick out in the cab, and it's going to activate the emergency brakes on the trailer. So let's say you're driving along and it becomes disconnected somehow, whether you get into an accident or something, it'll activate the brakes. And I guess, this is news to me, but I guess this is the one that does supply the air. So let's go ahead and change them out. A little grimy. Clean that up with the wire brush, and then put some new sealer on it. Put the new one on. It's pretty simple. There we go. Looks like they had thread tape on there. Let's see what we got here. Lots of crud. You still spin it?
Yeah. It's not good though, you're backing off, the whole thing's going through.
Yeah. I can see the bushing's bad there.
Backed off.
See that? Must be the bushing that's bad. whole S-cam shouldn't move. So, all right.
Nothing money can't fix.
Yeah.
Yuck.
How do those pins look? We're gonna have to replace those too.
Looks to me like it, they're shot.
Ew. Okay, well, should I
That
put
might
this?
be that grease.
Put that on the tire or something over there.
Gotta go buy another socket, huh?
Yep. Got a clip. Okay, I'm not convinced that it's not supposed to do that. I think that's what it's supposed to do. Now, in theory, that hub should just come off.
Let's take it over and set it on the bench.
Okay. Holy Bubba. Going. Yep.
Take it over on the bench. Take pictures.
Now we have fully disassembled everything that, to our knowledge, needs to be replaced, excluding the airbag. We took the S-cam out. I guess that we got to get a whole new S-cam, new bushings, new brakes, new shoes, new drums. I said new airbags, but those airbags, the cheapest I could find them was about $130 a piece. So now begins the more difficult part of the process, in my opinion, and that's cleaning everything up so that you can start putting everything back together. Now, if you look closely, there's supposed to be an ABS sensor right there, but it's basically covered in grease. So I'm going to take the gasket scraper, the paint scraper, and just kind of scrape off as much grease as I can. Then I am going to spray it down with the degreaser, and then wait a few minutes, and then wipe it all off, and then I'm gonna call it good. Pretty nasty. Ugh. There's some metal under there. So I've scraped it off the best I could, but you can see there's still quite a bit of grease on there yet. We want to get all that off. So here is where our WD-40 Specialist Industrial Strength Cleaner and Degreaser comes in. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this whole thing down with this, and I'm gonna wait a few minutes because the directions say to give it a few minutes for heavy soiled parts that you're cleaning, and I would call that heavily soiled. And then I'm gonna go through with the cloth and I'm gonna wipe it off. We're gonna go ahead and spray it down. So I'm gonna spray this on here pretty indiscriminately because I'm gonna go through with the cloth and try to get it as spick and span as possible. So it's had a few minutes to soak in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start scrubbing her down. Basically turns that grease into pudding. first treatment did a pretty good job. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some more in, specifically around the rim here, because I need this to be smooth, so when we go to put the hub back on, the seal rides smoothly on the axle. Boy, that's still pulling grease off there. And it even looks clean. That looks pretty good now, doesn't it? All right, I'm gonna run some emery cloth around where the wheel seal will fit on, so that way it's nice and smooth, and that way we will not have more leakage issues. I'd say this WD-40 Specialist Cleaner and Degreaser did a very good job at cleaning off the axle. So now we've basically just got to go and get parts. I've heard that the Wilson trailer can be a little bit more expensive than the Freightliner will be, which I totally believe. But hopefully we can keep things relatively reasonable. We still got to take the airbag out of there, which shouldn't be too difficult because it is pretty accessible compared to Big Red. So I think I'm gonna call that pretty well a wraps for today. Next step is to, once we get the parts, is to reassemble the S-cam once we have new bushings, and get everything aligned right and start putting stuff back on. I'll film more of this as time goes on. We still got 3 sets to go, and you can actually see, this is what I mean by the airbags are pretty well shot. But I don't know, we're not too far off, I think. Dare I say it, but this is actually going pretty smoothly. Even on Big Red, working on the axles were relatively simple. Well, that's about it for this video. If you guys are interested in some of this WD-40 Specialist Cleaner and Degreaser, I will put a link down in the description where you guys can check it out if you want to read up on it more. It is a lot safer than some other degreasers out there. It's low odor, and it is biodegradable as well, so you don't really have to worry about it too much, and it seems to do a pretty good job, as we can see here. So with that, I'll let you all go. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And with that, I'll see you next time.